Championships. A fantastic finish by Hector Hernandez, who's a teammate of Donovan Brazier's, and Arroyo, in sensational time that moved them up among the top 10 in the world. And they did it at among the top 10 in the world, and they did it at a conference meet. That's the talent that's here at the NCAAs.
Twice Andres Arroyo has been the runner-up at the SEC Championships in this since the last 2 years. He is now a junior at Florida. They will stay in their packs through 2 full turns and then break for the pole.
Only 4 people have faster times than Arroyo does in the 800 meters in the world this year. And I think these will be fast heats. These guys don't fool around. It's the finest quality 800 meters to make the NCAAs indoors we have ever had in this competition.
Look for the facility record to have many adjustments here. It's just 1:48.13 from the conference meet here a couple of weeks ago. La Forest Church of Memphis.
No fooling around here, Dwight. 25.5 first 200 meters. Watching them, they're going to come by, I think, here in 51 something. Very fast. This is almost like international outdoor times for first 400 meters. These guys are so talented.
Shaquille Walker from BYU, the junior, leading the way and setting this strong pace, followed closely by Clayton Murphy.
About 52 flat.
Eliud Ruto of Middle Tennessee State is back there in the all-navy blue. And Dylan Capwell of Monmouth in 4th. No change as they come up to the bell. Remember, top 3 across the line, automatic qualifiers.
About 120 through the 600 meters.
And the top 3 have separated themselves pretty well so far, but plenty of running left. It continues to be Shaquille Walker of BYU, and now Clayton Murphy into the lead. And Eliud Ruto right there. Now a couple of guys have come back. But it looks like those will still be the top 3. It's to be Murphy, Walker, Ruto, not necessarily out of order, but they are the first 3 across the line. And the winner of that heat, Clayton Murphy, sets a new facilities record of 146.92. In fact, so far the first 4 finishers have clipped. Now the first 5 finishers have eclipsed the former facilities record.
Well, solid early pace, and it really never let up. Here comes Murphy, who's got extra strength this year. He's run 3:57, dropped his mile time down considerably, got cross-country training under his belt, and that strength at 800 meters shows as well. Superb performance here. I'm not surprised. I thought he would be certainly a contender up here for this title. Be interesting to see how he does with Brazier and the rest. I think he's a really strong, physically strong athlete in the second half of a race.
Now, I wasn't kidding. The top 5 finishers, and actually off the results there, the top 6 finishers broke the old facilities record, led by Clayton Murphy of Akron, looking very, very good, very easy in 146.92. The 3 automatic qualifiers are Murphy, Ruto, and Walker. Capwell and Heppenstall will have to wait to see if their times from this heat hold up enough to get them to tomorrow's final. So here he is, the youngster, Texas A&M freshman Donovan Brazier, draws a little inspiration from the greatest.
My dad was a big fan of Muhammad Ali, so I just kind of like read up on him when I was little, and I guess I've just like grown to love him. I love him as like a person and just really as an athlete as well. He's a good symbol as an athlete to follow. I mean, he's not the humblest guy, but he's just like a figure of like a champion, like the greatest. So it's like a good guy to follow.
Last week at the SEC, or 2 weeks ago at the SEC Championships, Brazier looking very easy, but did struggle down the home stretch, just holding off his teammate Hector Hernandez and Andres Arroyo to win his first conference title of maybe many, considering how well he's run early this season. And again, he gets to run with his teammate, Hector Hernandez, who did a fine job of rabbiting him, by the way, in the qualifying at the SEC Championship.
You know, Hernandez, I've learned, that was not a rabbit intentional, if you know what I mean. Hernandez likes a hard pace. He's got guts. He goes out there. I'm impressed with how he has said to himself, we got this great talent named Brazier who's come in as a freshman. He's got great speed, great wheels. I'm going to stick with him in the practice sessions, and he obviously has. And he's just a gutsy guy, and I'm very impressed with what Hector has done, and his improvement this year is 1.4 seconds over what he did last year.
I think he's been the best thing to happen to young Donovan Brazier, to have him there in practice every single day. His experience, his knowledge of the program, of the system, unparalleled.
Dwight, this is fast. They are moving along. Hernandez wants the lead. Look at him. He's got it, and they're about 25 seconds flat for that first 200, and he hasn't let up. Look at him drive. Wow, I don't know what's going to happen in the last lap. It's going to be fun to watch.
This is like David Rudisha being pulled through by Paul Tanguay, and that's exactly what we saw at the SEC. It's like, kid, just follow me. You can hang with me. I work with you every day. You can do it.
He likes to run this way. They've been getting on track and doing more 150s, more 200-meter repeats since his 1:45.93 time going back 2 months ago. He says, I'm in definitely better shape, says Brazier, and obviously...
Brazier is out. Brazier is pulling up. Carlton Orange of Arkansas was making a move. Brazier is out of the race. Hector Hernandez continues to lead as they come around, and we'll have one lap to go, but the young freshman is out of the competition. Hector Hernandez continues to lead. In second place, that is Brandon Kidder of Penn State, and Carlton Orange of Arkansas, who's now slipped back to fourth, taken over by Gonard Deng of Minnesota. Top three automatically advance to the final, and then the next two fastest times, and they have got to get after it if they're going to get those fastest times. Hernandez, it's going to be a wire-to-wire victory, it looks like. Kidder has no reason to pass him. It is going to be Hernandez, Kidder, and Gonard Deng of Minnesota. 1:47.64, much slower than the Carlton Murphy heat. So the fourth and fifth finishers from heat number one will be the ones that get through. Let's check that. 69 and 91. No, it'll be one from heat one, one from heat two as Donovan Brazier limps off. You never know what can happen. That's why they have the meet.
Wow. Well, let's take a look and see if we can kind of figure out what occurred on that back stretch. Here's the athletes pulling over into the lead and deciding that this is Hector taking the lead. And they pass by the 200 in about 25 seconds flat for that first lap. This is the back stretch. See if we can figure out what happened. He seems to be all alone. I don't think he was bumped. He just pulled up. Something was not right, and he knew it, and I didn't see any lip beforehand. It was just something was wrong. Down the home stretch, Brandon Kidder, with his excellent mile strength, floats down the home stretch, assured of getting the top two positions. He and Hector Hernandez.
He looked a little tight to me, and his arms didn't look right, but he is out. Hector Hernandez winning that heat over Brandon Kidder and Gonard Deng. Those are the top three from that heat that automatically got through. No time qualifiers from that heat because you had to get under 1:48. So there are your 8 who will contest the final.